Thanks for joining us. We are on cycle 3, which is Song of Songs, verse 1, verses 5 to 7. You love me even in weakness.
Yeah. I am very dark, but lovely. Verse 7, tell me, you whom my soul loves, where you pasture your flock, where you make it lie down at noon. For why should I be like one who veils herself?
That's good. So the theme, Christ sees beauty where we see shame or guilt. And so the first part of this is, I am very dark. I am dark but lovely. This is probably one many people have probably heard before, at least this phrase. I am dark but lovely. And this is just the awareness of brokenness. And just because we are broken doesn't cancel out our value. Brokenness does not cancel belovedness, right? They're not, like, you don't need, even though you're one, doesn't mean, so for example, if I'm broken, I'll just use the term, just because I'm something valuable and I'm broken doesn't mean I'm not valuable. Right. Something can be broken and still be of value. And I think we had talked about this the other day, but we were talking about the differences between guilt and shame. Guilt versus shame. So when you think about shame, what does shame make you want to do when you feel shameful about something? Yeah, it makes me want to kind of pull away. Like, we've all seen the what it makes you want to do, that you kind of want to pull away, shrink away, and go, I'm not good enough. Like, if you've ever felt that, it makes you want to pull away. Yeah. But guilt is just the acknowledging of, I'm guilty. But guess what? I hate to say this. I don't hate to say it. I love to say this. Is that the thing about guilt, acknowledging guilt, opens us up to grace.
Yeah.
Opens us up to mercy. Because guess what? Mercy cannot be applied to someone who's not guilty. Right. Shame is what wants us to pull away. But guilt will actually acknowledge and go, I get to God, I can actually apply. And guilt makes me want to run to him because I know, again, I think about the Beatitudes, blessed are the poor in spirit. Mm-hmm. To be poor in spirit means I'm acknowledging, I am aware of my own issues. I'm aware of my problems. I'm aware that I don't have it all together. And again, it opens it up to the fact that I can actually receive grace, receive mercy from God. And darkness, the other thing about darkness too, and I think it's really related to this, was darkness also had to do with appearance, right? Like appearance in terms of the sun.
Right.
Can you talk about that?
Well, and I will say this, because we are like phrasing and not including the whole text. Exactly. Right? So even as you're studying,
we're trying to make it a little bit easier to sing.
Yeah.
Like, we're not taking away the Bible. We're just like, hey, if we put it in these ways, or if we word it in this way, it will be a little bit easier to sing and won't be either weird or so just be aware of that.
But I would say in your own personal study, or even as you're singing it, or praying through it and stuff, that you're reading the whole text, because even though we're isolating a few phrases, the whole text obviously paints the broader picture of what is happening, and that will help give you language and understanding as well.
Because I think that's one of the things in the actual passage where it actually talks about the sun. Yeah. Right.
But the darkness has to do with her being tanned because she's laboring in the sun.
Correct.
Just for context.
Yeah, because that was the big thing too, is we all, a lot of us would know in context, especially when we were like, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the darkest of, no. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest. Fairest didn't just mean beautiful, it meant white, and meaning white in terms of the sun wouldn't touch you. Because anybody that the sun kissed, anybody that the sun, it meant that you were just a normal pleb. You know, you're
Right.
just a normal person. The people that weren't touched by the sun, those were the royalty. Those were the people that, you know, they didn't have to work.
They didn't have to.
They didn't have to do
other
it.
people doing it for them.
Well, and I think one of the things too is like in a spiritual. So, for example, you know, Solomon in another book, Ecclesiastes, he talks about life under the sun, and that the sun beats down on people. That life under the sun is just the life that's lived causes problems.
Yeah.
Right. Just being alive is an issue. And so this kind of relates, you know what I mean? This kind of relates to, I'm a person living in the world. I'm not of the world, but I'm in the world, and I'm affected by the world.
Right. Like everybody else.
Like every other person.
But she is, because her proximity to
Correct.
Jesus, because her relationship is growing, she's becoming more and more aware of, you know, how much different she is than him.
Yes.
And how difficult it is to run.
Yeah.
Right? To partner with him in these areas. And so she's being confronted maybe for the first time with her own weakness.
And this is the part in the poem. This is the part in the song where there's the first bump. And it's a very small one, but it's the first real just bump where it's the bump of, I'm going after you, Lord, but oh gosh,
yeah.
I have problems. It's the first like realization of, there's an issue going on. I have real problems related to my relationship with you. But again, she also gets the enlightening of, I'm this,
right,
but
right,
I'm dark, I'm messed up, but I'm lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, so even like as we sing through this, I mean, sometimes I would just as a prayer leader, maybe just...
Me too. Same thing.
You know, just stick on that, I am very dark, period.
Done. Just hang out there for a little bit. People hate it. You're going to hate it.
Yes.
You're going to hate that being uncomfortable if I'm dark. You're like, but I want to get to the other shoe dropping. It's like, no. Just sit in that for a second, because that's part, again, being forgiven much, I will love much. I want to get a real sense of what I have been pulled out of. I want to get a real sense of what he has saved me from, and meditate on that Lord, I am not as good as I think I am.
Yeah.
Yes. I do want to get to that point of I see how you see me, but I need to be very aware of the fact that I'm messed up. I have problems. Life under the sun, whatever that happens to be, but I need to just sit there and dwell on that. And even like, wretched man, we'll get to that, I think, right? Yeah. What does he say?
You mean like Paul?
Yeah, Paul.
Paul, yeah, I'm like the chief of sinners.
I'm the chief of sinners.
Like I was X, Y, and Z in the world's eyes. I was this amazing, righteous, holy person, but it was like trash.
Yeah, all of it was literally, and he uses very, very vulgar-ish words, right? They're not holy words to I'll just say it.
To express it.
My good works were used tampons. I know, I just said it. I just did it. But that's literally what he said. And he's like trying to say, he's like, no, you don't get it. Like the most unclean thing you can think of, that was the best that I could give the Lord.
Right.
Was one of the most unclean thing you could think of. That was my best.
Yeah.
And that's where we want to sit to go, God, no. Like my best that I could do on my own was this thing. I know there's so much. I'm sorry. We got to move on. We can do it. Listen, you guys are going to study.
So hit I am very dark and then go into but lovely. You don't have to do it every time, but
just sit on, even if it's just one time or two times through, just please sit on that, because it will add a richness to I am lovely. Right? It gives context and gives it richness. The next thing that she asks is, tell me whom my soul loves, where you pasture your flock. Where do you make it lie? So she's like, I want to run after you. But she's like, where are you at? Where are you? Tell me where you pasture. Where are you? Where are you leading? Where are you resting? Where is it that you are? I want to be, like we said, Jesus prayed that prayer of, I want them to be where I'm at. This is us responding to it and go, I want to be where you are. Not just you praying it for me, but me asking you, where are you at? I want to be there. Like I remember clearly, I don't have this in my notes, but I remember clearly when I was in a backslidden state, when I was like 19, 20 years old, 19, 20, some in that age range. And I remember and it's funny because it's so related to this. Like, so when I read this and went through this, it was so clear to me. I remember going, God, like, I am so dead inside. I am so cold. My heart is cold. My life sucks. Everything is terrible. And essentially asking this question, where are you? How do I find you? I remember literally having like these questions of, what do I have to do? What do I need to do, God? I don't know what's going on. What do I need to do? And again, like, I was at this lowest place in my life. And I started asking these questions. And again, it was this, where do I do this? And again, he answered with, you know where I'm at, dude. You know where I'm at. Why are you asking that question? You know better than this. Like, I hear you asking this question, but you know where it's at. And so the idea of us finally being awakened, so being aware of our beauty, but then going, God, I want to be where you're at. Yeah. I want to do what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like, he says, do not forsake the
gathering, assembly of the brethren.
Assembling of yourselves together. But just as Nate was saying, darkness, the awareness of your guilt can cause shame, or like an isolating, or a pulling away from the things of God, or from the people of God. But he's like,
huge. That was me.
He was like, get in the flock, get in the church,
100%.
Gather together with other believers, feast on the word together, worship together. I mean, this is,
but they might hurt me.
And
they might disrespect me.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. So that I say that because just even for my own testimony, like, I remember like when I finally came back to the Lord. I remember one of the first things he told me was related to this. One of the first things he told me is he said, because I remember one of the things that I said in my backslidden state was God, me and you are cool, but the rest of these people can, whatever. I'm like, I'm done with these folks. They're all hypocrites and liars, and they're mean, and I don't like none of them. So I don't want anything, but I'll do me and Jesus Christianity. Just be me and you, Jesus. Right. Just ride into the sunset together, Lone Ranger style. And I remember the Lord, when I finally made that decision of Lord, I'm going to follow you with my whole heart. What do you want me to do? And I remember the first thing he really rebuked me on, flicked me in the ear with was, hey, there is no me and Jesus.
Right.
It's you, me, and everybody else. Yeah. There is no me and you. There's no singular, just our relationship. It doesn't exist. The relationship you get with me is also in the context of the church.
Right.
And I remember but they're so bad. And he was like, I don't care.
But I'm good.
I'm good. Deal with it. No, you have to have these people. Yeah. And it's like, oh, really? And it's like, yes. Yeah. And so I think that is something, because we don't go to that scripture, but one of the next things that happens, we don't go to the scripture, but one of the next things that happens in the story, we don't sing about it, is she goes and the watchmen or the shepherds beat her up. So it's just kind of hey, I went to be with your people and they beat me up. We're not even on the cycle anymore. Yeah, so it's okay. The point is that you need to go where he is.
Right.
Right? And the truth is, he dwells amongst the lampstands. He walks in the midst of the church. Mm-hmm. Right? Because the lampstands are the churches. Mm-hmm. He walks in the midst of the church. That's where he lives. That's where he dwells. And then so the love of God opens our eyes to his beauty, because we behold his beauty with unveiled faces, which I think we talk about. Yeah, I put in the cross references. But we unveiled faces. We don't wear a veil, that the glory of God can hit us full on. And when we talk about beauty, beauty is the harmonious integration of all God's attributes, such as holiness, justice, love, power, working together in perfect unity, complementing each other rather than conflicting. His grace and mercy, his holiness, his justice, his love and his power don't fight each other. They help each other and actually make each other, they don't make each other better, but in the way that we would view them, his holiness, his holiness is in our brain viewed more, not more supreme, but better, like a better version of holiness because of his version of love, because of the way we look at his love and we go, oh, your love's so good, or your mercy's so good, so that, if we were to look at something like justice and go, justice, but his justice is good because his love is good, and his love is good because his justice is good. And so those things work together. Yeah. And so we talk about beauty, that's what we're talking about. Not just the glory of God, but the beauty of God. It has to do with his name, right? The name, the oil poured forth, same thing. So we got some cross references for you. We have Romans 5:8 says,
Christ loved us while we were sinners.
Which is a big deal.
Yeah.
Like sin is not the thing that keeps us from God. Meaning sin is not the thing that keeps God's grace from getting to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Isaiah 1:18, though my sins are scarlet, your sins are scarlet. Right?
It makes us white. It's white as snow, white as wool. Mm-hmm. We're not worried about that. And his love can overcome that. Psalm 23, he restores, he leads, he restores my soul, he leads me on paths of righteousness.
Ephesians 2:4-5, he loved us even when we were dead in sin.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah.
And then we talked about the 2 Corinthians 3:18, with unveiled faces beholding the glory of God, that we can experience, because we'll get the glory of God and then we can show forth the glory of God. So Gregory the Great, one of the church voices, he said, the church is dark from affliction, yet lovely through grace. And Martin Luther, the great reformer as he is called, simul justus et peccat, which is righteous and sinner at once. So he recognized the fact that we're both simultaneously a sinner and righteous at the exact same time. Right. And so when I think about an illustration for this, it's almost the same way that gold in its original, like when it's pulled out of the ground, it is gold. Guess what? That gold is very expensive, but that gold is not pure. Right. So what has to happen? That gold has to be put into fire, and all of the impurities have to be burned off of it. It comes to the surface, and it's gone. Also, I look at it like this, like I could be as beautiful as my wife. I'm not, but she is. But a beautiful person could look into a mirror, but that mirror could be dirty. Yeah. Right? And if the mirror is dirty, it's going to give you a picture that's not good. And so it's like you have to clean the mirror to get a better reflection. So though we're dark, we are lovely. So the person's lovely, even if they can't see it. Mm-hmm. So thanks for having us for this cycle, and we will be on to cycle 4 next.